So welcome to my first YouTube video. Today I'm presenting the Victoria Sea Kriegsmarine fleet from Warlord Games. What I want to show is the content, the ships. I try to provide some picture-in-picture motions from World of Warships for the ships that you can imagine how they maybe look like. And at the end, I will fast forward the building process because there are some tiny bits to assemble. So then let's dive right in. As you see, I got the box. Mine is pretty ramped up because that's not the first try I try to record this. And it's secondhand, so I think the person who owned it before me did the same, open, repack, and so on. So the packaging is a little bit damaged. On the back side, as normally for Warlord Games, we have the content. We see a nice little picture of our two biggest ships. And the content, I will try to zoom that in. We got 9 ships, 4 flight stands, with each with 4 flights. I come to that later. I'm not very happy with them, but it's what you get. And we got some ship cards and damage markers. So then let's have a look inside. First of all, we have the flights, the Junkers, dive bombers. So you can call them the Stukas. I think that's more common. And we got the destroyers. It's Naval class destroyers. That's not right. If we look at the model and look at the actual armament with the guns and the torpedoes, it's a class 93A destroyer, and we will have a look at them later. So what else did we got? So first we could say thank you, Katerina, for packing this. Then we got our building instructions. They are very easy to understand. You got your ship with the name. You got your guns and your command bridge and your firelight system. Then you got the Hipper and the Eugen are the same ship because they're the same class. You got your 36A class destroyers. And you got your light cruisers as well. And of course the battleship. So we will put that aside. Then we got our cards with the stats and the point value for the game. I will look them up in detail with each ship. So for now, we put them to the side. Maybe make a pile. Then we got the first bigger package. We got the Königsberg and the Köln, plus some metal parts. The metal parts are, for example, the cannons, the command posts, and we got our 2 light cruisers here. And then last and least, we got all in one, because I packed them already to get better hands on it. We got the Eugen, the Blücher, and the, the Admiral Hipper in one, and the Scharnhorst, the battleship. All nicely packed in the bubble wrap, so nothing got damaged. And then, as we can see, the box is empty. So maybe we put that aside, just to be sure. If I mess this up again, I have to repack and do it all over again. So first off, I think we start with the Scharnhorst. She's the biggest ship in this set. So I think it's natural we start with it. So I will provide you with a video in the bottom left corner where I try to rotate the ship so you can have an actual look at a 3D model. As I said, it's from World of Warships, so if you know that game, it's a naval warfare game where you can play PvP. So the Scharnhorst. The Scharnhorst, I will tell some details about let it call us the life of the Scharnhorst while we look at the model. Maybe put that closer to the camera. We got some nice waves here. I love the wave in front. It's like more immersive if we paint that up in white and the rest in blue, greenish tone. We can really give the vibe of the Arctic Sea around Norway. So yeah, as I said, like, why do I try to paint that up like the Northern Sea, and especially in Norway? In 1940, the Scharnhorst was sent to the Arctic Ocean to distract the Royal Navy from the Atlantic, so the German can hunt the Allied vessels in the Atlantic Ocean and disturb their shipment. The Scharnhorst participated on several missions like Pause, Cut, ich habe vergessen, wie sie heißen, like Okay, so they participated on the Operation Nordmark and Operation Weserübung, a very German word for the attack on Norway in the 1940s. And what the ship does is it arrived in the sea, disturbing the Royal Navy, sent bombardments to the Norway coast and make it easier to troops to land there and basically conquer Norway. The main armament of the ship consists of three, I try to show it, 1, 2, and 3 main turrets, each with three barrels. And so you got 6 in the front, 1 in the rear. It was a main battleship, so you just drive up to your opponent and shoot him right in the face. Why do I tell you that? Because if we look at the destroyers and the light cruisers, we will see that the armament is like quite the opposite. You don't drive, you flee and shoot backwards. Yeah, and then in December 1943, the Scharnhorst was sunk by the Royal Navy after a long battle. It took several hits and it sunk on an unknown position. And it took till September 2000, and intensive research, a group of Norway scientists discovered the wreck of the Scharnhorst in 300 meter deep water on the coast of Norway. So, in a later part, I will show you the building process, and like, it's really not that amazing. You just put up the 3 guns, you put up the command tower, like the crane for the plane, and the firelight system. So I forgot to show you the actual card for playing the game. You got the Scharnhorst class battlecruiser, and I did not mention that the Scharnhorst has a sister ship, the Gneisenau. There are 2 Scharnhorst battlecross cruisers, the Scharnhorst and the Gneisenau. They are up for 425 points. And as you can see, it's in the category cruiser because it's not a main battleship like the Bismarck, for example. Therefore, it has a little bit more flanking speed, a little bit less armor and hull points, but very good guns with 1-3 turrets like A, B, and X. You see it here, it's A, B, and in the rear, the X turret. This tiny symbol is for the firing arcs. So if we get our ship maybe like this, you can shoot into the rear if you get followed, or you can shoot forward if you're angled to the enemy. Then you got your light guns. I will try to provide you some footage of the light guns. These are these tiny guns here. You got them all over the ship. And in reality, there were 12 from the bigger ones and 14 light guns, which have the same purpose for AA, like the designated AA machine gun batteries. Put the ship away. You can put your markers for the hull points. So we got 74 hull points, so we take the 70 and the 4. And if you get shoot and get damaged, critical damage, you just put your markers where you need to stay informed what is the health state of your ship. Next up, we got the 3 heavy cruisers of the Admiral Hipper-class. Maybe while I unpack these and try to find the actual Admiral Hipper, that's the Prince Eugen. I can tell you a little fun story about the Admiral Hipper-class. The first ship, and designed in 1943, was the Blücher, like this ship. And because there was delay in building the Blücher and getting it to water, the Admiral Hipper surpassed it by getting finished. And for old Navy tradition, the first ship, the first ship in water gives the whole class the name. So we are talking about the Admiral Hipper-class instead of the Blücher class. So I think that's a very nice model. You got the name here. If you paint that all blue and then just pick up the little letters with white, it looks very nice. Maybe if you want, I can make a painting video, maybe in fast forward, so you don't have to follow each step I do. Just make a comment if you would like to see me painting these little ships. There will be battle reports. If you like it or not, I will make them and I will put them on YouTube just for my own pleasure, because I like doing it. Also, I think I do like doing it. Back to the Admiral Hipper-class. The Admiral Hipper-class was designed to match the American and Japanese heavy cruisers like the Furutaka-class or the New Orleans class, and mainly served in the Arctic Sea and sometimes with less occasions in the Atlantic. There were only 3 ships built. Like, all 3 are here in the box. We got the Blücher, the Prince Eugen, and the Admiral Hipper itself. Each of them has displacement of 18 tons, so more than the light cruisers built in this time. And they got 4 turrets, 1, 2, 3, 4, with each 2 barrels of 20 centimeter guns. Yeah, so we got high armament with 240 millimeters in the middle belt, and then getting thinner to the bow and the stern, with 70 millimeters of German Kruppstahl. Every shell fired was about 220 kilos and can shoot up for 34 kilometers. So the ships in that time had the first good firing system, so they can provide with radar very exact positions and get very devastating if the enemy didn't know you are here. So I'm not forgetting it again. We got the Admiral Hipper card here. Then you got your Admiral Hipper-class ship cruiser card for 200 points. We compare it with the Scharnhorst with 425, so you can play actually 2 Admiral Hipper-class cruisers. And I think they will make a good trade in fighting. You got a flank speed of 6, and you got an armor of 3+. Again, we compare it to our Scharnhorst battle cruisers. We got an armor of 6+, so it's twice the chance to hit the Admiral Hipper than the Scharnhorst. The Scharnhorst had the same armament pieces. It's on this all the same on the ships. You got your 4 turrets with the firing arcs. You got your light and anti-tank guns, and you got your torpedoes, because the Admiral Hipper-class ships had 2 torpedoes on each side. I hope we can see that on the 3D model from World of Warships I'm putting in. You have to look at the I can show you on the ship, on this part of the ship, like here and here, there are triple torpedo shooting systems. So next up on our unboxing plate are our two light cruisers, the Königsberg and the Köln. There was a third ship in this class which was finished. It was the Karlsruhe. Sadly, it's not in this package, but maybe we can pick that up with Warlord games in the future. So because they are the same, I just pick out one. And it's the Köln, it's not the Königsberg, but because it's the same ship, it should not matter. So as usual, we got our water, we got our name here, and you see the guns, the turrets, and the lifts are missing. So the Königsberg is a light cruiser. The plating was in the middle of 50 to 70 centimeter Kruppstahl. It's not very heavy armored, but it was not the purpose. It was not a main attack battleship. You can see the two turrets in the rear and one in the front. I mentioned it before. You just drove up, you turn around in a kiting position so the front turret can shoot still and your rear turrets can shoot, and then you distract the enemy till the main fleet arrives and crush them. It was more like a bigger scouting ship. The three turrets were 3 barrels each, so nine barrels in total with 15 centimeters shells. And Köln and the Königsberg were first deployed in 1929, the Königsberg in April, and they attend in the Operation Weserübung together with our Admiral Hipper and the Scharnhorst. So I think it's a nice thematic pack that they put a lot of these Weserübung ships into our starting box. So the Königsberg, ignore the Köln, I'll show you this one. The Königsberg was sunk after getting hit by a coastal artillery. They destroyed a big part of the midsection. It had to go to the harbor in Bergen in Norway. And while repairing and restocking and try to get the crew on the land, some British dive bombers, no, not dive bombers, torpedo bombers, attacked the ship, hit it several times, and it sunk in the harbor. Not that glorious, but yeah. It was rescued and put into a museum, I think, in Norway somewhere, but they removed it several years ago. So then we have a look at our stat card. Hopefully it's not that points heavy because I like the gun order. So our stat card, it's 110 points. That is again nearly the half of an Admiral Hipper. And Admiral Hipper was the half of the Scharnhorst, so I can spot a pattern here. Yes, what do we got? We got a flying speed of 6. That is at the same speed of the Hipper. I had to look it up. Armor 2+ is weakened, but as we heard, with a maximum plating of 70mm, it's not really heavy armored. So we got 3 turrets, as I told you, each 3 barrels. We got, of course, AA battery, and then we got very few torpedoes for close combat, if you like to call it close combat, with very big metal warships. So I think with 110 points, we got our Scharnhorst with 420, 3 Hippers. I think we are easily over 1,000 points. Maybe I will calculate this and give you the number at the end. So next up are our destroyers. We got 3 of them. These are improved 9036A destroyers. Previous destroyers from the Kriegsmarine were the 9034 destroyers. They have a very high command structure, so they are very unstable in the water. I can show you, try to show you. Like when you have big waves, the small destroyers got very shaky because the command posts were very high. So the Kriegsmarine decided to design more brighter and wider ships, but with less superstructure. So they got a better concealment because they are flatter, and they at the same time they got more displacement with over 3,800 tons. And schneiden, nochmal Worte rausfinden. At the same time, they got wider, longer, more heavy. They changed the armament. They were designed with 1 double turret in the front and 2 single turrets in the rear. And for some technical reasons, there was a delay. So the Kriegsmarine decided to put 4 one-barrel guns on this ship. They got 15 centimeter guns. Crazy thing about these new guns, they have 45 kilo shells, and each shell in each tower was hand loaded by 2 or 3 men. So if you got into a fight with one of these destroyers, very fast your salesmen were getting very exhausted by lifting up these heavy shells and manually load the guns. So that's the reason we have 1 turret in the front and 3 in the back, like 1, 2, 3. I hope you can see that. And 2 torpedo launchers in the midsection. The purpose of the ship was you're driving through the enemy, you spot the enemy, and then you turn around, have the main firepower in the rear, and drove back to safety and inform the high command that you spotted the enemy fleet, or maybe a vessel, or whatever you can shoot in the Second World War on the ocean. So next up, I will show you the stat card, but I have to look where it is. So very nice. Destroyer stat card is here. It's about 60 points without any modifications. I didn't tell you that in the first 2 cards. I will provide that in our first battle report, where I will speak about the fleets, the improvements, and the characteristics before playing. So we got our Type 9036A class destroyer with a flank speed of 7. It's a little bit faster than the other 2 ships, but yeah, one inch isn't that much. You got an armor of 1+, so it's like no armor, but in World of Warships there's a saying, it's no armor is the best armor. You got Sub Hunter. There are submarines in Victory at Sea, and maybe we will pick some up later. I have to look how this whole unboxing and battle report thing is going to be. You got your firing arcs, like you imagine the light guns can shoot in a 360 turret way. And then you got your 2 torpedoes, starboard and support board. They have devastating and one shot. One shot is they can shoot, but then they have to reload, and I think they reload very slow. So this was the destroyer class. As mentioned in the other videos, we will build the command posts and the radar towers in fast forward speed at the end of the video if you're interested in that. Then for the end of the video, or for the end of the unboxing, I will show you the flight stands of the Junkers. Yeah, I mentioned before I like that they have airplanes. That's a cool thing, and obviously it's necessary for fighting in the Second World War. Especially if I look at my Royal Navy fleet with a aircraft carrier in the starter set. That's up next in the unboxing section, because I can start with the battle reports when I did both unboxing videos. So my motivation is very high. So we got our stands. They are from resin and they look like this. You got your little stand. You got your U-87 Stuka sign, because there are several bombers and fighters, and that is all fine. They are okay in height, but then this is the flight stand. I hope you can see the small airplanes. Maybe this is better. So you got your leader and his wingman and another pair. But what I didn't like, I can try to show you, it's not symmetrical. I know that airplanes do fly in pairs, but if I look at this, it's just not symmetrical, and I'm a little bit disliking this. But okay, I have to live with that. To show you the comparison, I will put a ship down here so you can see the planes can fly over the ship. Maybe zoom in a little bit. No, that's not enough. We will cut that out. So we got our Stuka, and then we can try to, maybe if I put it really like this, you can see it's a little bit higher because we have to attack ground surface ships, so it don't necessary to put the ships up very high. So as I told you, we've got 4 of them, and these are shore-based aircraft. The Germans did not have a big fleet of aircraft carriers. So this is the end of the unboxing part. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, hopefully give me some slack here. It's my first video ever. I'm trying to get better, more confident, more clear, maybe change my technical setup a little bit. So stay tuned, maybe subscribe, maybe like if you're feeling like it, or if you're one of the 23 persons I personally know who are subscribing. Thanks for doing it again. And yeah, see you in the next unboxing video. Royal Navy Fleet, Victory at Sea. I'm very excited for this happening, and after that, our first battle report.